Good morning. Good morning, Thea. Good morning, everyone.
Don't make a video.
Okay, you'll make a video? Okay, I won't. Don't make a video. What are you, my boss? I haven't showered in like 2 days because I just been sitting here by the phone,
In my car, I go up in
stressing out, waiting for some news. Honestly, other than the passing of my grandmother and my brother-in-law, this has been one of the most stressful, emotional stress I've ever had in my life. I can't even explain it. But my heart, my thoughts, my prayers, they go out to everyone in the Philippines. Everyone who's been affected by this awful super typhoon. Thoughts and prayers. So I thought I would just talk really quickly, briefly, about a story I want to share with you that Lynn told me last night. I was able to call her directly, phone to phone, without any internet. But that call lasted about 15 minutes and then it dropped, and I haven't been able to get her since. It's just craziness going on right now in Bohol. She shared with me a lot of the stories from the night that the hurricane hit in Anda. It's very heartbreaking. It's very disturbing, and I feel awful about not being there for your loved ones. When you have a crisis, you want to be there for them. When you have life-threatening situation, you want to protect your family. And I wasn't able to do that in this situation. So everybody in the area and all the other towns that were hit by the hurricane, they're all dealing with, some type of destruction, some type of damage, whether it's by trees, roofs flying off their homes. I know of one person in the neighborhood that we live in, their home is completely blown away because they're just made with some 2x4s and some roofing nails. That's about it. So, yeah. Anyways, I want to say that we're very lucky. We don't have any structural damage. We have just, some superficial damage, but it's enough because it's all over the place. So you have a small problem here, small problem there, another little problem here, and then you add up 30, 40, 50 of those problems and it becomes a big problem. So that's what Lynn is dealing with, not me. Lynn is dealing with that. But I wanted to share one particular story because Lynn can't tell her story right now. It's going to be a while. And when she's able to get back online, she's going to tell her own story and upload her own videos. But until then, I want to just share some stories that she shared with me. And she had explained to me that it was a very, very scary throughout the whole night. Very scary. The wind, the rain, trees cracking, falling.
They are not the one.
Okay. Her and her family have never experienced anything like this. Anything like this typhoon. That's the first thing I'd like to say. someone had mentioned in 1984 there was a much stronger typhoon. Now, I don't know if that typhoon is actually hit Bohol or hit somewhere else. Because according to Lynn, and she's never experienced anything like this in her lifetime in Bohol. So she didn't know what to expect. And as you know, our home has a lot of sliding.
Look at the pot. Look at
Okay, I see it. I'm looking. Oh. So as you know, our home has a lot of sliding glass doors. It's a lot of glass. And thank the Lord that I paid extra for that thick tempered glass for all the doors. That's probably what saved us. So we're lucky, you know, in the sense that we didn't lose any glass, we didn't lose any doors. Structurally, our home is fully intact. But during the night, when the storm really kicked in, and the winds probably, I mean, we're getting up to 150 kilometers per hour, which is crazy, and they were saying that the storm might have been up to 250 kilometers. I don't know the details on that. I didn't follow the numbers. I know a lot of storm watchers, you know, focus on the statistics and the numbers, but I wasn't focused on that, okay? I was focused on where this thing was gonna hit and for how long it was gonna stay over the island. So that's what I was focused on. And so Lynn, they're in the room, the kids, just to give you a little idea of what's going on at this point. It's, I don't know, maybe like 9 o'clock at night. The wind is non-stop. I mean, it's not like gusting anymore. It's just, it's sustained. You know, the wind is sustaining itself at this point. The trees are all bending over, they're breaking. And one of the Gemelina trees, there's 2 Gemelina trees between our villa and the kitchen villa. Now, they had trimmed those trees the day before. I had suggested that they cut the tops of the trees off. They'll grow back. But they didn't do that. They were just didn't have the experience of knowing what the storm was going to do. I had been through 3 hurricanes, so I had a pretty good idea of what it was going to do. I just didn't know if it was actually going to get to that strength, but it did. I had suggested to cut the tops of those Gemelina trees off because they were so high. But we never got to that. We just got the trees trimmed. So in the earlier of the night, before the hurricane peaked, one of the Gemelinas already fell towards, I think, the kitchen. Now it's like 9 o'clock at night, and they're fully into the storm, barreling down on them. And the other tree snaps and breaks off, and it hits the house. Not completely. It's like the tips of the tree as it fell kind of brushed onto the top of the roof, and then the rest of the limb, top of the tree, was brushing against the door and the glass. So the kids, Kyla and Kevin, they're crying. They're crying their eyes out, and they're in the bathroom. They're hiding, you know, they're sleeping in the bathroom because that was the furthest, most protected place in the house because there's no glass, you know, no glass doors or windows in there. So they're in there, and Lynn has no choice. There's no one helping her. There's no Manoi. There's no one except her and the kids. So she's got to go out into the hurricane. So she's got to go out into the hurricane by herself at the peak of the storm. She said it was like she was going to be blown away. She's panicking. But she knows that she has to get this humongous top half of the tree off the house, or it's gonna blow right through the glass. And she said she don't even know how she did it. But somehow she pulled and yanked and dragged and she got that big limb, that big tree, it's like half the top half of the tree. She got it off the house and dragged it away from the house in the storm. And now the coconut tree in front of the kitchen, it survived. Those things are flexible, you know? But this tree survived. It didn't fall, but it had a lot of coconuts in it. Now, Lynn's out there pulling this tree, getting it away from the house, and those coconuts are flying everywhere. They're falling down. She said one missed her head by like this much. Would have killed her on the spot if that coconut hit her in the head. She got inside. She got this thing out of the way. Coconuts flying. Unbelievable. Somehow with all her strength, just from pure adrenaline, you know, that fight to survive, you know, that adrenaline kicks in. And she got that thing off the house by herself. A little bit of scratch, I think, on the top of the roof, not much. I don't even know if it's noticeable. No damage. She basically, you know, stopped any further damage or destruction on the house because she went out there in the middle of the storm and pulled this thing off the house. It's incredible. All by herself. Just alone. Nobody helping her. No man, no brother, no husband. So she's out there in the rain, the wind. I don't even know how she didn't blow away. I mean, it was that bad. And, you know, she got this thing off the house. I mean, we're not talking about a little branch. We're talking like the top half of the whole Gemelina tree, attached with all kinds of branches and leaves. Wind, rain pounded her in the face. Coconuts flying in the air. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. This experience, I'm gonna live with her, Kyla, and Kevin forever. I don't know so much about Kevin because he was sleeping. But Lynn and Kyla, this is something I'm 100% sure they will never forget this night. Never. And the next day, you know, you get up. She didn't even sleep, you know, just constant worry, constant checking, listening. But the next day, her shoulders, it's like almost like it's dislocated. She has a problem now with one of her shoulders. She's in a lot of pain from pulling and grabbing that thing and getting it off the house. I can only imagine. I just can't imagine it, you know? So that's one of the stories from the night, from the hurricane, super typhoon Odette, with my wife in the Philippines, and a Bohol. Good luck to everybody in the coming days and weeks, trying to get through the cleanup, the power outages, and the rebuilding. My heart goes out to all you guys over there. I miss you all. I love you all. Hopefully I'll be back soon. I don't know when yet. Thanks for watching this video. This is Lynn's story. So thanks for watching. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays.